Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another Chicago Beer Pass Cellar Raid.
I love
Re-
the Cellar Rays, by the way, Brad. I love them.
I know some point we're gonna run out of beer because I said on a recent episode of Chicago Beer Pass I'm not buying beer to store anymore. So yeah.
Are you one of these guys that has like more than one fridge at the house? One like a fridge for beer?
Well, I brought that fridge to the office.
Oh, so it was. You were that
I
guy.
was that guy. I had a beer fridge,
Okay.
and yeah, a lot of stouts, a lot of there's half wine now and half beer in here. It's usually beer we are drinking here on the show,
Okay.
but there's still a lot of beers in there that have been sitting there for a few years. One of those being a 2015 Goose Island Bourbon County Stout.
Right on. The original. This was the year that they introduced this bottle.
Right.
16.9 versus the 12 ounce. Not sure if there's a name.
Versus the previous year was the
Oh, it was the
Bombers.
bomber?
Yeah, there
Okay.
was no
Yeah.
12-ounce bottles.
Yeah. It's the embossed label with the words kind of the same.
This is the year
Nice.
that they showed their AB money.
Yeah. Right? This is, it sucks when you're taking photos of it because whoever is taking the photo, you get that glare.
Yeah,
But just as a bottle on its own,
it's nice.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
I agree. So was 2015 the year of sour ones, or was that last year's 2016?
2015 was the big year. So there were 9 dates, right? I think the story evolves over time. Some people think it was the barrel, and you know how they were trying to get the devil's cut out of it, and they would these distilleries would put extra water in the barrel and let it sit for 30 days, introducing new organisms, and then they sold those barrels, right? Some people think it was that. Some people think it was the bottle caps.
Okay.
But
I've also heard the fill caps.
or the fill cap, and that's what's actually putting the liquid in the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you hear different stories. I know in 2015 there were 9 dates that were identified. It doesn't look like this was one of the dates, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So this could still be good. So I know a lot of people recently for Black Friday happened picked up new bottles of 2017 Bourbon County. So well, this is 2 years old. We have a good I guess carbonation level there. We got a little bit of steam or
that good.
yeah. And then coming out, we had the glug, 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 glug. I have a feeling this is still going to taste great.
It's a fun beer, man. I can remember being at at the Potter House, Hilton, and Tom Corder is there, and he's telling us, this beer takes, this beer's about 500 calories. This was in the 12-ounce bottle.
Okay.
And, about a pound of grain per bottle, about 500 calories per bottle, like a massive beer. Yeah.
That's why you can't count calories. Because if you're like a beer drinker, you could be like, I'm going to drink 4 Bourbon Counties, and that'll be my calories for the day. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Not the same. All calories are not created equal. 500 calories in a Bourbon County.
That's insane. That's
That's
insane.
a lot. So getting that little bit of vanilla, not so much of a burn or anything from it.
It's a nice, pleasant
Yeah.
booze note in the back there. It's gotta be another word for booze note.
Booze, yeah.
God, it smells like booze. I like
Yeah,
all the
li-
usual suspects though, like
Uh-huh.
raisin and charred oak and vanilla,
I'm not-
chocolate.
Yeah, but after 2 years, I'm not getting any like sour or like cardboard or funk or anything like off.
That sounds that reminds you that it's been sitting around, like it's a little old, like it's not getting a lot of
Yeah.
oxidation, right? Because that's what that is, right? It's oxidated.
oxidation, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it would be small if it's there. It's tough to say if it's my glass, maybe not cleaned perfectly, or if it's the beer. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks great. And so tasting it, it feels sticky. It feels sweet. It feels a little cherry, like you were saying, like raisins, but it has that like cherry raspberry note that can sometimes quickly go into the sour if you're kind of concerned, but it's not there yet. It's kind of, I think, just playing off of that like dark fruit chocolate note.
Yeah. Everything sort of lingers. It dries out just a little bit.
You're right.
Everything sort of lingers, or everything that you smell, you know, you get it mid palate, you get it, it's warm, it warms your mouth, and then you get those same notes as it goes away.
Yeah. I think it's tasting great.
I'm on board. It's fantastic.
If you're sitting on a bottle of 2015, I would say if you have multiple bottles, go ahead and save a couple, but I think it's perfect. It's fine. Like, it doesn't have that burn. It's not overly sweet. It's not sour. It's just kind of tasting very clean and mild across the board.
Yeah, because like back in, like 2012 to 2015, a lot of those beers were kind of too hot, Like, you really had to sit on it for a little bit of time to appreciate it. But I think, when we had, we started having like a string of like mild winters, and, the whiskey, the beer wasn't penetrating the barrels like it usually would, because it really wasn't that cold. So you start to get some of those milder flavors. I think this was one of those years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So more of the baker's chocolate, the brownie batter. That's when those, for me, that's when 2015 was a year I started tasting those just as much as I tasted the oak and the booze.
This is kind of the beer you want to sit next to the fire and sip on. Like, now that it's kind of mellowed out, it's not in your face. It's not, I don't know. It's not hurting you at all. I feel like it's just kind of a sipper to enjoy and not think about too much, because it's kind of mellowed out. You don't have to think about it much. It's just kind of sweet and desserty.
Yeah, and you could and I like the way it looks too, man. And I've had some beers lately that I love the way they taste. Big barrel aged stouts, but they, physically they were kind of murky. There may or may not be some particles in them. I mean, this beer's fun to look at.
Yeah.
Jet black with that dark brown head. It's Bourbon County.
How do you think it compares to a fresh one? Now that we just had it recently, we recorded an episode of Chicago Beer Pass with Jarrett, and you've picked up bottles.
Yeah.
How do you think it's comparing fresh?
Everything amplified, most, obviously, but then like more of the dark roast, like a dark roasted. If you taste coffee, it's more of a dark roast coffee.
Okay.
Right? And here you get some of those. You know how when you get like a pour over coffee at the house and you start picking up, those tea like notes.
Okay.
Some of those lighter clove and like those kind of like lighter notes.
Okay.
You don't get that here. You don't get that in the newer.
Yeah,
one.
you get a sweeter syrupiness with the 2015 here.
Yeah.
You get like you recently mentioned the metric coffee on the episode we recorded, like the metric coffee liqueur. This almost gets close to that liqueur kind of taste. Like, you could use this I feel like this is like that perfect time to use it, like drink a glass and then use it in a dessert as like a drizzle or in your ice cream or something like that.
No, you're right. I think if you put this next to a dessert, it wouldn't be over the top with cloying sweetness. Like they would kind of work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. And that's a good point, actually, because we talk about these beers in a dessert framework, and and we should, right? But they're cleaner than you would think at the finish. You know, like they get nice and dry, nice and kind of charred oak and a little dryness to make everything feel all right.
Cool. All right. Well, we might sip on some more of this bottle, but we're out.
No, cheers.